Welcome to Sci-Fi Stories. If you love stories of courage and mystery, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community.
The Galactic Trade Conclave was designed for boredom. Marble floors from the crystalline worlds of Ilex. Floating light orbs tuned to calming frequencies. Delegates arranged by economic influence. At the center of the Grand Chamber stood Ambassador Ralvek of the Tharvex Dominion, a species that had ruled galactic commerce for 3,000 cycles. To him, this summit was routine. New species arrived. They requested trade access. They accepted limitations. They paid tribute. Today's petitioners were human. Ralvek studied them with mild disdain. Soft skin. No visible armor. No talons. No venom glands. Their chief delegate, Dr. Maya Serrano, spoke calmly about tariff adjustments and supply chain resilience. Predictable. Harmless. Ralvek prepared a speech granting them limited corridor access. Then the lights flickered. A ripple in space. 8 cloaked Varix assassins phased into existence across the chamber. Precision strike. Primary targets, economic leaders. Secondary objective, destabilize Dominion authority. One appeared directly behind Dr. Serrano. A monofilament blade descended toward her throat. At that speed, even Dominion battle lords would fail to react. Dr. Serrano caught it. Not with panic. With precision. Her fingers closed around the blade's flat edge, halting it less than a centimeter from her skin. The Varix assassin hesitated. That was his mistake. She twisted her wrist. The weapon reversed direction and pierced the assassin's thoracic node. He collapsed without a sound. The entire motion lasted 1.5 seconds. Across the chamber, other humans moved. Professor Liang vaulted over a diplomatic table, producing a compact kinetic sidearm that had somehow passed security scans. 3 controlled shots. 3 targets down. Trade envoy Okoye slid across polished stone, flipped a serving tray, and used it as an improvised shield before disarming her attacker with surgical efficiency. The chamber filled with stunned silence. Alien delegates hid beneath furnishings. Warrior species froze mid-stance. The humans stood. Calm. Breathing steady. Dr. Serrano wiped the captured blade with a handkerchief and examined its balance. Edge alignment is slightly unstable, she remarked casually. Mass distribution favors intimidation over efficiency. Ralvek's frills trembled. You are diplomats, he said weakly. Yes, Serrano replied, sliding the blade into her belt. We are. Security forces finally burst into the hall. For minutes too late. Professor Liang checked his wrist display. Response time unacceptable for a facility of this classification. Okoye nodded. We'll submit recommendations. Ralvek stared. You are not soldiers. Serrano tilted her head. Every human completes mandatory service, she explained. 2 years minimum. Environmental survival, small unit tactics, threat assessment. You train all civilians for war. She smiled gently. We train all citizens to survive. A Varix assassin attempted to rise behind her. Without looking, she stepped backward and struck him unconscious with the pommel of his own blade. The chamber went very still. Ralvek struggled to process the implications. The Dominion had ruled through intimidation for millennia. But intimidation only works on prey. And your reflexes, he pressed. Average human visual reaction time is approximately 200 milliseconds, Serrano said conversationally. With predictive combat modeling, we reduced that significantly. Predictive modeling? We watch shoulders, Liang added. Hips. Micro-muscle contractions. Violence announces itself if you know the language. Ralvek's secondary hearts began beating faster. You discuss assassination attempts as though reviewing trade metrics. Serrano met his gaze. On Earth, storms can erase cities. Predators stalk forests. Tectonic plates rearrange coastlines. She folded her hands. Danger is background noise to us. A ripple of realization moved through the chamber. The Dominion had assumed humans were clients. Newcomers. Manageable. But these were persistence hunters from a deathworld who had traded claws for cognition. Ralvek glanced at the fallen Variks. They are the most feared assassins in known space. Serrano considered the statement. They hesitated. Hesitated? They expected fear. Her smile sharpened slightly. That was their error. Captain Ibrahim Torres, who had until now remained silent near the back wall, approached. Area secured, he said. No further threats detected. His badge identified him as a logistics consultant. Ralvek stared at it. You are logistics? Yes, Torres replied. Combat engineer before that. Infrastructure resilience specialist now. Ralvek's mandibles clicked softly. You hide warriors within scholars. Serrano shook her head. We don't hide them. She gestured around the room. We integrate them. Across the chamber, alien delegates slowly emerged from cover. The warrior caste of Braca watched the humans not with contempt, but with respect. Serrano returned to her podium. As I was saying, she continued smoothly, expanded trade routes through Corridor 7 would benefit both our species. Ralvek blinked. You wish to continue? Of course. You were nearly assassinated. She raised an eyebrow. We were interrupted. A faint tremor ran through the Dominion delegation. Ralvek felt something shift in the air. Power. Not loud. Not theatrical. Controlled. You are not prey, he said quietly. Serrano's smile returned to its pleasant diplomatic form. No. He inhaled slowly. The Dominion will reconsider its position regarding human trade expansion. Murmurs spread across the chamber. Serrano nodded. We value mutually beneficial relationships. As cleanup drones removed the Variks' bodies, Ralvek observed the humans. No celebration. No boasting. Only composure. He realized something unsettling. The balance of power had changed. And the humans had not raised their voices. They had not threatened. They had not demanded. They had simply survived. Efficiently. When the summit concluded, Serrano approached Ralvek privately. Ambassador, she said kindly, we prefer cooperation. He studied her carefully. And if cooperation fails? Her answer was gentle. We adapt. Later, in his private quarters, Ralvek recorded a classified transmission to Dominion High Command. Reassessment required, he said. Humans are not a client species. He paused. They are apex predators who learn diplomacy. Back in the now silent chamber, Serrano adjusted her jacket and walked toward her delegation. Torres smirked slightly. Think they'll approve the corridor? She glanced back at the empty hall. They already have. In the vast theater of the galaxy. Some species rule by fear. Some by force. Humans? They negotiate. And if necessary, they catch the blade.